What's going on, New York Giants fans? Hit Squad back at it with another video. And look, we've been gone a little bit. I do apologize for that. Just been trying to enjoy life, been having a lot of things going on in my personal life. But we're going to be back at it with the content. We have a lot of new guests coming on the channel going forward for the Giant update. So many different things that we're going to be doing on this channel, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. But all of that aside, look, the New York Giants and Saquon Barkley did not come to an agreement on a contract extension. And while I'm disappointed, because I've been advocating on Twitter, which if you haven't already, follow us on Twitter. The link will be in the description box. While I've been advocating for Saquon Barkley, to be a Giant for life on Twitter, and I still do feel that way. I always understood the other side of the coin, the long term perspective, what's best for the team. And no one can deny that Saquon Barkley is one of, if not the best talent on this team when healthy. I mean, he is a difference maker, and unfortunately, the way that the running back market is, or excuse me, was this offseason, I mean, it just did not play into his favor. Now, we know that he did turn down two contract extension offers. At the time, we didn't know the exact guaranteed money. We only knew vague details, and throughout the offseason, there were little reports here and there, that were coming out, and Saquon Barkley would shut them down, by saying it was cap. And, I got to give a lot of credit because throughout this whole process, Saquon Barkley and his camp, they kept it classy, they kept it professional, and I got to give a lot of credit to him because I think a lot of players would have handled that situation differently, especially in this media market. But in my honest opinion, I hate to see this for Saquon. I really do hate to see this for Saquon Barkley because you can make a very good argument that he's deserving of the contract. When you look at his numbers, when you look at his film, since he's came into the NFL, yes, obviously he's dealt with injury. We all know this. It's nothing new. But he had a career year last year. He was a solid player for us. Down the stretch, the second half of the season, you could see that he was gassed a little bit. I do kind of lean more towards, I thought, the Giants really relied on him, down the half. And, I mean, you saw in the first half of the season, the beast that Saquon was. And I mean, you saw him in the Vikings game where he was a difference maker for us as well. And mind you, he's been doing this behind the makeshift offensive line. Uh, man, it's a bummer. It really is a bummer because you, as a fan of the team, as a fan of Saquon Barkley, and obviously as a fan of the New York Giants, I want to see Saquon Barkley be a Giant for life. He's one of those players that I believe, in the last decade that has came through MetLife Stadium, that has came through the Giants organization, that has been deserving of a second contract and to be considered, one of those players that are Giants for life. Now, I don't see that happening after this offseason, after this upcoming offseason, after the season. In my honest opinion, I mean, if this is it, Saquon, look, I'm very appreciative for everything that you have done for this organization, that you have done for this fan base, the class act that you are, the stand up man that you are, the beast of an athlete that you are. You were here through the roughest of times that Giants fans have ever experienced in the organization's history, some of the worst times. And you came through and you dominated week in and week out when you were healthy. And for that, I give you a lot of credit. I give you a lot of thanks. I salute you. But if this is it, man, ball out. Ball out like crazy this year because the Giants have high expectations this season, and we're gonna need you. I don't want to see you play on this on the franchise tag. There's really nothing much that they can do until next offseason, and I don't see the Giants doing anything next offseason in regards to Saquon Barkley. I honestly, I've been very vocal with this too. I always felt that if Saquon Barkley and the Giants didn't come to an agreement, this was Saquon Barkley's last year as a New York Giant. And that hurts. It sucks. Again, I wanted to be a Giant for life. But at the end of the day, the Giants, Joe Shane and crew, they are doing what they believe is in the best interest of this organization. Do I agree with it? No. But at the same time, I trust Joe Shane. I trust Brian Dable that they know what they're doing. And, we're going to see how this plays out. I definitely understand Saquon Barkley's frustration. I definitely understand, the organization's frustration. And I don't think anyone could have predicted that the running back market was going to be this, depressed this offseason. But man, I mean, the fall off of the running back market it should be studied. It should be really studied because I mean these backs aren't getting paid anything. These backs aren't getting paid anything. You look at the Raiders and what's his name, Josh Jacobs. They didn't come to a contract agreement when Josh Jacobs this past season just led the NFL in rushing. You look at players like Austin Eckler, who was, in my honest opinion, the Chargers' offense last year. And he had to beg and fight just for an extra $1 million. I mean, it's a very sad reality. Again, I've wanted Saquon to be a Giant for life, but I also understood the other side of the coin where, you don't necessarily want to pay these running backs big money. I don't agree with the statement that you can find these running backs, in the seventh round, sixth round. Yes, the story of Isaiah Pacheco is incredible. I love Isaiah Pacheco. I thought he had a great season last year. There's tiers to this. Okay, Isaiah Pacheco isn't on the Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley level. There's not a lot of backs in the league that can do what Saquon Barkley can do on a week in and week out basis. Even at Saquon Barkley's age, teams, defensive coordinators are planning around this guy. They are honing in on this guy, and he still makes it work. There was so many games last year where Saquon Barkley grabbed this offense and put him on his shoulders and carried this team. Now Daniel Jones had an excellent season last year, and that's not a slight at Daniel Jones, but I think a lot of Giants fans seem to forget that we had Saquon Barkley running the Wildcat a lot last year in the beginning of the year until it got figured out. I think a lot of Giants fans seem to forget that. And, it's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate for Saquon Barkley. But like I said, if this is it, Saquon, go out, ball out, dominate this season, and show that the Giants messed up by not giving you a contract extension. And I hope and pray that you get that extension that you're looking for next offseason. And I don't think it's going to be the Giants, unfortunately, that's offering you that. But let us know your thoughts below. I'm very intrigued to see what you guys have to say and how you guys feel about the situation. But it's just really unfortunate that I had to go this way. It really is. But I'm wishing Saquon nothing but the best. I know he's gonna have a good year this year, a dominant year this year, possibly even a breakout year this year. It might be better than what he had last year, especially with Eric Gray in the role. Lessening some of those carries, keeping him a little fresher, especially down the stretch. But man, really sorry to see that it went this way. But let us know your thoughts below. We'll see you guys on the next video.